This is video number 21 for book 2 for bass students. And in this video, we're going to learn the A major scale. Now, if you want, you can be open up in your book to page 13. However, if you're one of my students, you have those FYO scales. I would suggest that you use that instead because that's going to be exactly how we're playing it. You also really don't need to do either because I'm going to be drawing it up here on the board. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is remember how we make scales. How do we form a scale? Well, we go by the name of the scale. If we're doing the A major scale, when we start on that note, we start on A and we play every note that's in that key signature until we get to the A again. So we're going to start on A. Now, every note in the key signature, remember our key signature of A major has 3 sharps. All F's are sharp, all C's are sharp, and our newest sharp, all G's are sharp. So F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. Okay, so we start with A. After A comes B. After B comes C, but remember all C's are sharp, so it's a C sharp. A, B, C sharp, D. After D, E, and then F, all F's are sharp. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, and G's are sharp. And then we come back to A. Okay? So scales go up and down. This is just one octave. Now let's think about how we're going to have to play this. So we're going to start in first position. This is all fine in first position. Open A, first finger, fourth finger. Open D, first finger, fourth finger, and then G sharp. What do we need to do there? We need to shift to half position for the G sharp. Okay? Shift, that says 1/2. You can't really read that, I'm sure, but that says 1/2. And you're going to shift and use first finger in half position. Now, how are you going to play that A? You guessed it, second finger. Okay? Now, let's try that first. Okay? We'll do the arpeggio in a minute. Let's try that first. Remembering that you're going to shift to half position after the F sharp. Okay? Why don't you shadow bow that first? 2 of each. Do 2 A's, 2 B's, 2 C sharps, starting in first position. And red, say 2 A's. A. Whoa, sorry, rock stop slipped. 1, 2, red, C, and go. A, now B, C sharp, open D, E, now F sharp, now shift to half position for G sharp, now second finger for A, now stay there, G sharp, now we got to shift back to first here, F sharp, now E, open D, elbow around, lots of weight for the C sharp, lots of weight, get it in tune. Okay, let's try playing that now. Okay, so you're going to shift back, stay in half, and then shift back here and stay in first. 1, start in first, 2, play with me, and go. 2 A's, now 2 B's, C sharp, press it hard, get it in tune, open D, E, F sharp, pressing hard. Now shift, G sharp. A, now G sharp. Now shift back to first position. Fourth finger, F sharp. Now E. Arm around, press it hard for C sharp. Get it in tune, get it. Okay? Now, we're going to do the arpeggio, and guess what? The arpeggio is actually going to be pretty easy. You're not even going to have to shift on it, okay? So, if you remember, the way we find an arpeggio is we number these notes. There are 8 notes in a 1-octave scale. We've learned this before. I'm going to erase these fingerings now because they don't apply to the arpeggio. That only worked for the scale. When we do an arpeggio, we take the first note of the scale, we take the third note of the scale, we take the 5th note of the scale, and we take the 8th note, the last note of the scale. Now look at this. All of this can be played in first position. So that's what we're going to do. We're not playing the G sharp, are we? No reason to shift. Not for the arpeggio. You have to shift to half position for the scale, but the arpeggio is super easy. No shifting at all, okay? Hardest thing is getting that C sharp in tune. Okay, let's try that. We'll go ahead and shadow bow it once while I play it, and then you'll play it with me. C sharp, E, A. That's it. 2 of each. Shadow bow, 1, 2, open A, shadow bow. A, now C sharp, now E, now A, first finger, stay in first position. It's that easy. Now E, now C sharp, now open A. Yep, easy, right? Okay, let's try that now together. 1, 2, ready, and go. A, C sharp. Now E. Now 1 in first position for the A. C sharp. Okay, now what you need to do when you're practicing this, do the scale with the shifting and then the arpeggio right after it, just like we did everything else. When you've gotten good at that, add the thirds to it. Now, if you're not one of my students, you don't have the thirds. But if you are, do the thirds. It's on the second page of those FYO scales. Practice scale, arpeggio, and thirds for this. Once you're good at that, you're going to need that for something that's coming up. So practice A major a lot. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp.